Okay, so this is the video for day one of the challenge, which is also day one about time. So the sort of title is I feel guilty when I take time for myself. And the reason I called it that is because I did a bit of a survey amongst my clients and also on social media. And I think guilt is something that comes up a lot when people take time to exercise or any of the self-care stuff. Always comes with this. I'm going to call it mum guilt, but you don't have to be a mum to have it. All right. That's what mine feels like. So there's a quote that I put at the top of the section. So this all will follow through the Podia structure that hopefully you have found. It's not an app and you don't need to put it on your phone. Just follow the link in the Facebook group, find it, and then, you've got notes on what I'm talking about, which is going to be helpful, and also what you need to do. So Greg McGowan wrote a book called Essentialism, which is fantastic. Highly recommend. This is where quite a lot of these principles came from. But there's no good reading a book unless you actually put some of it into action. So that's why I'm trying to actually use it with people I work with. One of the quotes from the book that I like was, if you don't prioritise your life, someone else will. So priorities, something to start thinking about. Now, this is just me, might not just be me, but I realise I don't like choosing stuff when other people are involved. So like if in the olden days you used to go and hire a video, I would never be the one to choose it. I would never say, oh, we've all got to watch this film, because I hate that feeling partway through the film when you can tell other people are not enjoying it, and then it spoils it for me and I don't enjoy it either. So I would rather not be the chooser. Equally, when we go on a family holiday, I'm not pushy about where I want to go on holiday. I kind of let other people take the lead. And I used to think, oh, I'm just selfless, I'm part of the team, But actually what it points to is a lack of boundaries. It's that I would rather disappoint myself than other people. And what does that say? It says that this feeling of guilt is something I'm trying to avoid. So why do I feel guilty when I prioritise my own needs? It's because time feels like a scarce resource. There isn't enough of it. So if I take some from me, that's greedy. How can we then make time feel more abundant so that the guilt goes away? Because you're like, well, I'm allowed my slice because there's plenty, okay? And I think it's about rediscovering your ability to choose, okay? So there are a number of, on the Podia structure, there's a number of kind of problems, barriers to actually achieving this, okay? One of them is if you're not clear about your own values, i.e. what is important to you in life, because then you'll get carried along by what's important to other people. So it is worth spending a little bit of time in your journal thinking about what are your sort of key nuggets in your life that are super important. It's also proven that having too much choice is not helpful for making choices, and it also makes you feel less satisfied with your choice. Somebody did some research on, I think it was ice cream flavours, but if you have more than 3, whichever one you pick, you sort of get FOMO and think, oh, this one isn't the best one, I could have had such and such instead. But if there are only 3 flavours, you'll pick one and you'll be happy with it. So modern life is full of too much choice. If you think about exercise, fitness, diet, all that stuff, there's just too much of everything and it's hard to pick. There's also social pressure, there's FOMO, there's all kinds of pressures on us to feel as though we should be able to do it all. But this is the nugget for today. Multitasking. I was going to use some stronger language, but it's nonsense, okay? I feel as though this is the biggest lie I've been told my whole life, is especially that for some reason women are supposed to be better at it than men, and it's our superpower, and therefore we should be able to do it all. But why do you want to do it all? No, I don't actually. Because it's like a secret trick that society have played on us, that instead of they're almost like, oh, aren't you doing well? You're trying to do everything. And then men are not supposed to be very good at multitasking, so they get to go and focus on something uninterrupted. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to make this into a gender war, and men are very welcome in this group. But multitasking is nonsense. Stop trying to do it. It's it's killing you. Okay, so that's today's thing to think of. Like, just during the day today, just notice when you're trying to do two things at once, even if it's drink a cup of tea and peg the washing out. Like, pick one, do it, then go and do something else. Okay. So the question that you've got on your journal is to think about how your health and fitness links with your values, because that will help bring it up the list in terms of its importance. Because if you can see that being healthy and fit helps with the thing that's important to you, you're going to knit them together, and that's going to help. All right, bit of a long one. I hope it makes sense. Let me know what you think. Happy day one.